I am making my own game, but I have no experience at all. So how did I get from this to this? Well, I'm gonna show you exactly what my journey was like, so let's start. When me and my friends started this project, we had no idea what to make, so we started brainstorming. We landed on the idea of making a tower defense game, and I don't know about you, but that is a little overdone. So we thought about how we could make it more interesting. You're telling me I'm this big and I can't even fight these guys myself? That's kinda weird. I can probably make a game where I can fix that. And that is exactly what became the core idea of our game. Inspired by Dungeon Defenders 2, we set to create Roblox's best tower defense game, where the players themselves will help with defending. The idea is that the player will select a character with custom attacks and abilities, and also a custom turret among the other turrets that they chose, and they will have to fend off waves of different enemies for as long as they can. We quickly came up with the theme of time travel and decided that the player would be part of an organization that travels through different periods of time to defend against threats from that time. The player will start out in the Stone Age and defend against stuff like cavemen, trolls, and spiders, you know, your everyday Stone Age complication, and eventually work their way up to a futuristic age with more advanced enemies and in a more advanced environment. Lots of interesting things to work on, but we have to start somewhere. We split up the task and decided 2 of us will code and the others will build for the game. Since this channel focuses more on the coding, this video will be on that part of the development. But the other stuff is interesting too, I guess. Me and my coding buddy opened up a brand new baseplate template and did barely anything for the first hour because we had no idea where to start. After watching a video on Lua, we decided that we were bored out of our minds and already knew the basics that were shown. So we just started making things. For our first ever creation, after countless lines of code, tons of bug fixing, we created a brick that changes colors when you click it. Yeah, but we were proud with our progress and actually learned a few things, so we spent the next day splitting up and working on individual tasks to hone our skills. I quickly learned about tables, nesting tables, teleporting, and the difference between local and server scripts by making this little lobby cube that teleports you to the actual game when you enter it, along with a few friends. My friend went through the hardships of learning about C-frames, render stepping, cloning, and even raycasting, while making a semi-functional turret placement system. His sounds a lot more impressive, and it is, but trust me, I've also done a lot of cool things. With the turret system done, we need the turrets to do the turreting with, of course. So the modelers provided me with a lovely cannon model to work with. So I chose to take upon myself the task of making our first turret. I started by creating a way for the turret to detect enemies so that it would know who to fire at. Basically a large circle that keeps track of monsters that are inside of it, putting them inside of a table or a list. If something is inside of that list, the turret will fire at whatever the first entry of the list is. Also, really quickly, thank you so much to everyone who supported my previous video. It was really motivating to see all of your support and the kind words in the comments, and even some of you subscribing, so thank you so much, I am beyond grateful. Anyways, after a quick scripting session, I made the detection work flawlessly, but then realized that the turret would detect something even if a target was behind the wall, which was a problem. After thinking for approximately 3 seconds, I thought of a solution. Fire a raycast from the turret at whoever it's trying to shoot at, and if it doesn't hit the target because the ray is blocked by an obstacle, it will try firing at the next monster that is inside the list. And if it can't find anything to shoot at, well, too bad. And done! Now I just slapped this beauty on top of the cannon model provided to us earlier, added it to firing animation, and we made our first turret. Well, not quite. It still needs to actually shoot something at the monsters. Well, by calculating the distance between the turret and the monster and allowing us to get speed, the projectile, calculating it forward and allowing us to using a box and calculate the damage event, and boom! Now our turret is really done. Now, since this major feat in programming history, we ended up making lots of other things too. For example, a combo attacking system with effects and animations, custom enemy wave creation, making sure that the players can ready up at start waves, also a saving system so that the player can save their in-game currency, but also which turrets and characters they have unlocked on their accounts, and of course also the tower or the base that you need to defend, which has a own health bar. Now, I could talk about all these individual things, but that would take way too long, and editing this has already been a pain. Our next steps will be to finish making the first characters that the player can pick to play as, and to design some enemies to actually fight. It's gonna be really tough to add more raw content, but we're persistent, and seeing you guys enjoy our first video has definitely motivated us to continue working hard to complete the game. So that's pretty much all we're gonna be able to fit in this devlog process recap thing today. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. Please let me know in the comments if you have any feedback or suggestions for other videos we could make, or just anything else you'd like to share. I'll respond to all of the comments. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.